Hey guys, it's Rachel Parker here with True North. I am in Niagara Falls, New York, and we are going to go talk to some Americans to see what they think about the U.S. election so far and what they think about the Democratic National Convention currently ongoing with policies like offering free abortions and vasectomies. Let's go take a look. Come on. Do you know who you're voting for this election cycle?
Trump. Trump.
Why are you voting for Trump?
Love him. Love his views on life. Love his views on America.
I think he's good for America.
We're from West Virginia, and all West Virginians feel that way.
Kamala Harris.
And why is that?
I tend to be on the liberal progressive side, so her what she stands for is more in line with what I believe. So
So will you guys be voting for Kamala on election day?
I would say yes. I would say I am.
If you had to sum up in one sentence why you're voting for Kamala, what would you say?
To keep Trump out of office. To keep Trump out of office.
That would be number one.
I'm pretty well set who I'm going to vote for. It's a shoo-in the way I see it. I don't want to vote for a convicted felon that has an ego and attitude problem.
So you are supporting Kamala Harris just because you dislike Trump or because you like some of her policies?
Both.
So it's more a dislike for Trump than a like for her.
Don't know that much about her, really. She's had some impressive jobs and apparently is good at them, and I'm hopeful.
Well, right now, from what she said at the convention, she's done a pretty good job of convincing this voter. I hope that I like to quote what Trump said during the 2016, process, where he said he loves the ignorant and uneducated. So I hope that Kamala Harris can get through to the ignorant and uneducated that Donald Trump loves.
Just because you don't like the guy, you got to see how those 4 years ran with him, and now the 4 years running with Biden. We were all way better off back then than we are now.
I like Kamala. You know what I mean? It's not even about, I just like personal, because today these kids is much older, and, it just should be fairness across the board. I think that's what she'll bring.
So the Democratic National Convention's happening right now. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to that at all, but one of the things they're doing this year is they're actually offering free abortions and free vasectomies for people at the convention. Yeah. What do you guys make of that?
That's another thing,
Free vasectomy. That's
all right. If you want to abort a child, that's up to you and God when you die. That has nothing to do. You know what I mean? To run an election on that's what you're worried about is abortion. Well, that's pretty silly. Yeah, that's the least of the worries.
About what they want to get free abortions out. I think people should be held a little more accountable for their own actions instead of putting that on everybody else to put it on the taxpayers' dime.
Don't agree with that.
Vasectomies is your choice, but abortion is the baby's included, So vasectomies is a form of birth control. Should have thought of vasectomy before you got pregnant.
the abortion. I feel the same way she does.
I'm a Christian, so I believe in birth, bringing the life into the world. But it's kind of like what Pope Francis says when he says, who am I to judge when it comes to the clergy, sex abuse, and the homosexual clergy that goes against what it says in the teachings of the Holy Bible? Why should I judge someone that wants to do what they're going to do? I care about my individual liberties just like I care about theirs. They should be entitled to do what they want and not have any judgment from anyone.
Another thing about the Democrat National Convention right now is they're supporting the U.S. Citizens Act, which would grant citizenship to illegal immigrants. What do you think?
No. They got to come here legally, man. Yeah, you want to come here the right way and pay taxes and do what you have to do. You just run it across the border and come in here, and now we're going to have to support them and pay for them. And no, they have to get thrown back and then come back the right way. That's all I think.
I'm not so sure that's exactly correct, that they're just offering. I think there's a process that people would have to go through, but I'm for that.
So you think that the state's immigration numbers need to be higher? or about as high as they
I
are?
definitely think we could have higher immigration numbers in the United States. Absolutely. I mean, our unemployment rate's so low. I mean,
I think there's just not enough jobs to go around now.
I think we need to deport the illegals.
That's a good thing for this country because you've got more people that want to be productive and be taxpayers and part of the United States. So that's a good thing.
Are you concerned at all that some of the, asylum seekers, some of the illegal immigrants are not wanting to be taxpayers and are instead a burden to taxpayers?
Not necessarily, because how many refugees go into Canada like they do here in the United States? People that need help need to be helped.
I don't think we can afford them, and they're probably going to vote for somebody we don't want them to vote for.
Yes, that's
So I think that's probably the reason they're being allowed here.
You support Kamala. Do you support the manner in which she was chosen? Do you think that it was really like a fair choice for people that, support the Democrats? Or, some people have said it was basically just a coup and she just replaced Joe Biden. People weren't really giving much.
it wasn't a coup. No, he stepped down and the delegates backed Kamala.
I think she was installed. I don't. There's nobody in their right mind that would have kept Joe Biden in. I mean, he was just rambling, bumbling about nothing. So she was kind of installed, and I think it's kind of just a setup. It's something that was set up. That nobody was elected into her position, really. It's just she just kind of was put in the right place, I think.
I'll tell you what, when I look at the history of the United States of America and what's happened all the way back to slavery, and, you look at the way the economy of the United States back when slavery was around, the fact that the descendants of slaves from that period at that point in time in history, I feel like it's a vindication for them, and it's a way, Kamala Harris being picked, it's a way to bring better race relations on this side of the border because of the wrongs from the past.
So she's a good pick because of the color of her skin?
And because she's an intelligent woman, obviously, that, understands she's got the pulse of the people on her side.
So do you think that all this so-called momentum that we're seeing behind Kamala, do you perceive that that is a real thing, or do you think that's just the media pushing an agenda?
media pushing.
Yes.
It's going to be close, I think. Because I'm from PA, and she's pretty close to Trump in PA, and I don't understand how.
So you think Trump is a shoo-in at this point?
No. I think media is very powerful.
So do you think that the media in the States is powerful enough to sway the results of the election in
I
Kamala's?
think they are. Yes.
Last election.
They favors their side. It may be a Fox News that favors Trump, and CNN is going to favor Kamala. It's not going to be a difference. It's not going to stop until somebody step in and just say, look here, I want to work on Fox News and goddamn CNN and say the middle.
Like in Canada, your economy's been struggling a little bit these last few years, really high inflation, really high costs at the grocery stores. I'd be surprised if you hadn't experienced some of that yourself. Do you attribute any of this to policies of the Biden and Harris administration?
No, I'm going to go all the way back to voodoo and trickle-down economics from when the Bushes were president.
I think it's beyond. It's a hard thing to control. Like I said, economy things. I think the pandemic's had a lot to do, a lasting effect. That's going on. We're going to be feeling it for a long time in one way or another.
Well, it seems like when the conservatives want to just take care of one specific group of people, they exclude everyone else. And it seems like business people that know what to do with capital are the only ones that'll try to find positive solutions from the negative outcomes from their presidencies.
They just spend, and the middle class is getting killed. We can't afford nothing. You know what I mean? Two people out there. I'm 61. I got to work now even harder now than I did before, just to pay my mortgage. It's outrageous.
Do you think America looks great on the world stage right now?
Showing the reversal stage of just trying to just get back into current, yeah, they look great. America's the greatest country in the world.
Think of some of the great American politicians from way back, and they led the people got behind them, and now it's it's kind of out of control.
All right, everyone. So there you have it, a little taste of what some Americans think about their election ongoing right now. I do have to say this is my first time on the American side of the falls. It is much nicer than the Canadian side. It's true, the view of Horseshoe Falls isn't quite as good, but the town surrounding it is much nicer. If you've ever been to the Canadian side of the falls, you'll know exactly what I mean. All right, guys, that's all we have time for today on Rachel and the Republic. I'll see you next week with more coverage of the American election. Have a great weekend. God bless.